Imagine walking into any room, a job interview, a family dinner, a first date, a networking event, and within 60 seconds people are smiling, leaning in, opening up, and treating you like someone they've known and trusted for years. No bragging. No manipulation. No awkward small talk. Just pure, instant human connection. One man discovered exactly how to do this in 1936, taught it to millions, and it still works better in 2025 than 99% of the charisma hacks you see online. I'm handing you the 6 most powerful, field-tested principles from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, principles that turn shy farm boys into millionaires, grumpy bosses into mentors, and ordinary people into the most loved person in any room. If you've ever felt invisible in conversations, forgotten 5 seconds after you walk away, or just want people to light up when they see you, do not skip this video. Let's begin.
Concept 1. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive.
Let's start with the hardest pill to swallow. Criticism is futile. Carnegie opens the book with a story about Two Gun Crowley, a famous killer in the 1930s. When he was finally captured after a massive gunfight, Crowley didn't say, "I am a bad man." He wrote a letter saying, "Under my coat is a weary heart, but a kind one that would do nobody any harm." This was a man who murdered a police officer just for asking for his license. Yet, in his own mind, he was innocent. He was a victim. 99 times out of 100, people do not criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong they may be. When you criticize someone, whether it's your spouse for leaving the dishes out, your employee for a typo, or a stranger on the internet, you are not correcting them. You are wounding their pride. You are hurting their sense of importance. And when you hurt a person's pride, they don't learn. They defend. Think about the last time someone aggressively criticized you. Did you think, "Wow, thank you for that logic, I will change immediately"? No, you felt your heart rate go up. You felt defensive. You started listing all the reasons why you were right and they were wrong. Criticism puts people on the defensive and makes them strive to justify themselves. It is a boomerang. It always comes back to hit you. So, what do? We all have to deal with people who are wrong or behaving badly. Carnegie suggests a radical shift. Understand them. Instead of condemning people, let's try to figure out why they do what they do. That breeds sympathy, tolerance, and kindness. The next time you are about to send that angry email or make that snappy comment, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, what does this person believe is true about themselves right now? Lincoln used to write hot letters to his generals when they failed. He would pour out all his anger onto the paper, and then he would throw the letter in the drawer and never send it. He vented the emotion, but he saved the relationship. If you want to influence people, you must give up the luxury of criticizing them.
Concept 2. The secret to being fascinating.
We live in the age of personal branding. Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. Everyone is shouting, "Look at me. Look how smart I am. Look at my success." We are trained to believe that to make friends, we need to be impressive. We need to have cool stories. We need to be the most interesting person in the room. Dale Carnegie says, that is dead wrong. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Why? Because people are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. They are the hero of their own movie. When you talk about yourself, you are a background character. But when you talk about them, you become the best supporting actor they've ever met. Carnegie uses the analogy of the dog. A dog is the only animal that doesn't have to work for a living. A hen has to lay eggs, a cow has to give milk. But a dog? A dog makes his living by giving you nothing but love. When you come home, the dog is thrilled to see you. He doesn't try to sell you crypto. He doesn't try to impress you with his new car. He is just genuinely, wildly happy that you exist. And we love the dog for it. This is about genuine interest. And the key word is genuine. You cannot fake this. You have to actually become curious about the human experience. The next time you are at a dinner party and you're stuck in a boring conversation, don't look for an exit. Dig deeper. Ask questions that allow the other person to shine. How did you get started in that field? What was the hardest part of that project? What are you most excited about right now? When you do this, a magical thing happens. You say almost nothing, but the other person walks away thinking, "Wow, what a great conversationalist." I want to pause here for a second. Being interested rather than interesting is a skill that takes practice. If you are serious about upgrading your social toolkit and you're enjoying this breakdown, please hit that subscribe button below. I'm dedicated to building a library of knowledge that helps you level up, and I'd love to have you with us.
Concept 3. The sweetest sound in any language.
Jim Farley lost his father at the age of 10 and went to work in a brickyard. He never saw the inside of a high school. Yet, by the time he was 46, four colleges had honored him with degrees, and he became the Postmaster General of the United States. How? He had a system. He could remember the first name of 50,000 people. When he met you, he asked about your family, your job, your opinions. And the next time he saw you, even if it was a year later, he would shake your hand and ask about the wife and kids by name. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Your name is your identity. It sets you apart from the billions of other people on earth. When someone remembers your name, they are paying you a subtle compliment. They are saying, "You matter. You are memorable." When you forget a name or misspell it, you are saying the opposite, "You are forgettable." We all say, "Oh, I'm just bad with names." No, you're not. You're just lazy. You are not bad at remembering the name of a person who promises to give you $1 million. You remember what is important to you. Make people important to you. When you are introduced, if you didn't hear the name clearly, say, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that." Repeat the name during the conversation. So, Sarah, how long have you lived in Chicago? Associate the name with a visual in your head. It's a small effort that pays a massive dividend in influence.
Concept 4. Be a good listener.
This connects to concept 2, but it's deeper. It's about listening. Most people don't listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. While you are talking, they are mentally rehearsing what they are going to say next. Their eyes are glazed over. They are just waiting for you to take a breath so they can jump in. That is not a conversation. That is two people delivering monologues in the same room. Carnegie tells the story of meeting a distinguished botanist at a dinner party. Carnegie didn't know anything about botany, but he sat and listened for hours. He asked about exotic plants and garden experiments. He was fascinated. At the end of the night, the botanist told the host that Carnegie was most stimulating and an interesting conversationalist. Carnegie had hardly said a word. He listened. To be interesting, be interested. Ask questions that the other person will enjoy answering. Encourage them to talk about themselves and their accomplishments. In our modern world, this is even more rare. We are all distracted. We are looking at our phones. We are looking over people's shoulders to see who else is in the room. If you can give someone your undivided, phone-down, eye-contact attention, you are giving them a gift that is rarer than diamonds. You are giving them significance.
Concept 5. You can't win an argument.
This is the concept that saved me the most grief in my own life. You can't win an argument. Let's say you get into a debate with someone. You logic them to death. You pull up the statistics. You prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they are wrong and you are right. You have intellectually pinned them to the mat. Have you won? Ideally, yes. Practically, no. You have made them feel inferior. You have hurt their pride. You have made them resent your triumph. And as the old saying goes, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You might win the case, but you lose the person. Carnegie suggests that the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Avoid it like you would avoid rattlesnakes and earthquakes. Does this mean you have to agree with everything? No, but it means you stop trying to dominate the conversation with facts. When you disagree, start by finding common ground. Listen to their side first. Look for areas where you can admit you might be wrong. If you walk into a disagreement saying, "I'm going to prove you wrong," you have already lost. If you walk in saying, "I might be wrong, I frequently am, let's look at the facts together," you disarm them. You take away their need to defend themselves.
Concept 6. The secret of Socrates.
If you want to persuade someone, never begin by discussing the things on which you differ. Begin by emphasizing the things on which you agree. This is called the Socratic Method. When someone says, "No," their entire organism, nervous, muscular, gathers itself into a condition of rejection. It is a physical withdrawal. Once a person has said, "No," their pride demands that they stick to it. It is very hard to turn a "no" into a "yes." But when a person says, "Yes," their organism is in a forward-moving, accepting, open state. The more "yes" you can get at the start of a conversation, the more likely you are to succeed in your final proposal. Let's look at a sales scenario. You need to buy this truck, it's the best on the market. This is a bad approach. Customer thinks, "No, I don't," and "No, it isn't." The good approach is, you want a truck that is reliable, right? And you want to make sure it has good resale value down the road? And obviously, you don't want to overpay for gas? Well, this model has the highest resale value and best miles per gas in its class. By the time you get to the pitch, they are already in a pattern of agreement.
Concept 7. How to get cooperation.
No one likes to feel that they are being sold something or told to do something. We prefer to feel that we are buying of our own accord or acting on our own ideas. We like to be consulted about our wishes, our wants, and our thoughts. So why do we try to jam our ideas down people's throats? Carnegie tells the story of a man who wanted to sell sketches to a famous stylist. For years, he pitched his own ideas and failed. One day, he took half-finished sketches to the stylist and said, "I wish you would do me a little favor. Here are some uncompleted sketches. Won't you please tell me how we could finish them up in such a way that you could use them?" The stylist looked at them, gave his feedback, and the artist finished them exactly as the stylist suggested. The stylist bought them all. Why? Because they were his ideas. If you want your boss to approve a project, don't present a finished masterpiece and say, "Sign this." Present a draft. Ask for their input. "I was thinking about approach A or approach B, but I really value your experience here. Which path do you think has more potential?" When they choose, it becomes their plan. They will fight for it. They will support it, because they are supporting their own creation.
Concept 8. The sandwich method.
Eventually, you have to correct people. You have to lead. So how do you do it without making enemies? Carnegie suggests you call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. There is a famous story of Charles Schwab walking through his steel mill. He saw a group of men smoking directly under a "no smoking" sign. Now, a bad manager would have walked over, pointed at the sign, and screamed, "Can't you read?" Schwab didn't do that. He walked over to the men, handed each one a cigar, and said, "I'll appreciate it, boys, if you will smoke these on the outside." He didn't say a word about the rule. He didn't scold them. He gave them a gift and made them feel important. He knew that they knew they were wrong. By letting them save face, he won their loyalty forever. This brings us to the concept of saving face. Never humiliate someone, especially in front of others. Even if you are right and they are definitely wrong, destroying their dignity accomplishes nothing but resentment. If you must correct someone, start with praise. "John, you've been doing an incredible job with the client reports. I really appreciate the detail. One thing I noticed on this latest draft is the formatting. If we can align that with the new style guide, it's going to be perfect." Praise plus correction plus praise. It takes the sting out of the criticism. It's like the dentist giving you Novocaine before drilling. The drilling still happens, but it doesn't hurt.
Conclusion.
We have covered 8 powerful laws today. But here is the warning. You can memorize these lists. You can write them on your mirror. But if you treat them like tricks, they will fail. You cannot fake this. A fake smile is worse than a frown. Fake flattery is worse than an insult. This book is not about acting. It is about a new way of life. It is about fundamentally changing your heart to actually care about the people around you. It's about looking at the person serving you coffee or the person sitting across the boardroom table and realizing that they have the same fears, the same insecurities, and the same hunger for importance that you do. When you stop trying to be the hero of the story and you start helping other people feel like the hero, that is when you unlock the world. I have done my best to summarize the soul of this book, but I have barely scratched the surface. There are stories in this book, stories about Lincoln, Roosevelt, and everyday people that will move you to tears and change the way you see the world. Don't just watch this video and scroll to the next one. Invest in yourself. This is a book you do not read once. It is a book you read every year. It is a handbook for being a human being. I have left a link in the description. If you don't have a copy, get one. If you have one, take it off the shelf and read it tonight. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. Don't leave that to chance. Thank you for watching. Now, go out there and make someone feel important today.